Good day everyone, and good day also to our very own beloved instructor for this subject principles of food preparation, no other than Mrs. Jessica P. Astilio. Good day to you, ma'am. Allow me to introduce myself. By the way, my name is Junlix Baragvito from BTLNHA2A, and I will be a reporter for today's discussion. My topic is all about how color affects flavor or taste. But before anything else, let me read to you the learning objectives of this discussion. So here comes with our learning objectives. At the end of this discussion, learners will be able to first, explain how color affects flavor or taste. Second, know why does the appearance of food change. Third, understand the color influence taste and flavor perception in humans. And lastly, value the importance of color to taste. So here also our guide questions. First, how color affects flavor? Second, why does the appearance of food change? Third, does color influence taste and flavor perception in humans? And lastly, what is the impact of color to taste? So the question is, how color affects the taste or flavor? The taste buds on your tongue detect flavors and food groups and help you identify the foods you eat. However, other senses play a role in how we experience food. You probably know that the smell of foods can have a strong effect on how they taste. But did you know that the appearance of food also changes how we experience it? Because we usually look at food before we put it in our mouth. The very first information your brain gets about any particular food comes from your eyes. From an early age, we learn to associate colors with flavors. When something is orange, we expect an orange flavor. If you tasted green pudding, you would be surprised to find that it had a cherry flavor. Discrepancies between the appearance of food and their taste can make it more difficult to identify the flavoring. So now let's move forward to the psychological effects of food color. Does food color influence taste and flavor perception in humans? The short answer is yes, as several factors impact a person's psychological and sensory experience with food, including texture, temperature, and appearance. Studies have shown that color can influence the eating experience in multiple ways. So when eating or drinking, most people take in visual information first. They observe how the food looks in contrast to the surrounding plate or container and draw on years of experiences with similar foods before taking a bite, making assumptions about what the food will taste like and how satisfying it will be. Whether consciously or unconsciously, color impacts the following psychological aspects of the eating experience. So first in the list of psychological effects of food is the flavor. People make assumptions about what their food will taste like using color. So they may believe that a bright red apple will taste sweet, for example. If the real flavor of the food fails to meet the real flavor of expectations, the brain may not perceive the difference, replacing existing taste with expected flavors or elevating taste that are milder than anticipated. Second is fullness. People may eat more or less of a food depending on its color and presentation. White food such as popcorn may encourage mindless snacking, for example. Studies also indicate that plate color influence how much people choose to eat. However, additional research is needed to determine whether the color itself or the contrast between the plate and the food causes this effect. And the third psychological effect of food is the enjoyment. People often associate brighter colored foods with better nutrition and flavor. So this holds true for fresh produce and candy. If a person finds the color of a food appealing, their overall enjoyment may be enhanced regardless of actual flavor or nutritional content. And the last one, psychological effects of food, is the food choice. People naturally gravitate toward foods with appealing colors and avoid foods with unappealing or worrisome colors. Foods with colors that indicate spoilage or poor quality are unlikely to sway customers at the supermarket. So now, let's move on to the flavor identity. So how its color affects taste. So different foods feature many different colors. As a result, we form connections between specific colors and corresponding flavors. Depending on culture and past experiences, you might assume that a red drink is cherry, strawberry, cranberry, or even tomato flavored, but you probably wouldn't assume it tastes like peach. So, due to the assumptions we make about flavor, color and taste perception are closely linked. So different colors affect taste in various ways. Foods with a bright red colors can increase perceptions of sweetness and decrease perceptions of bitterness, which is why some manufacturers apply red coloring to the outside of fresh apples and tomatoes. So in contrast, foods with unexpected blue coloring could cause some people to lose their appetite due to the color's rarity in nature. So, ano sa no example is kanang mag-base gyud sa color. Example, intay mango. When we buy at the supermarket, we usually look mango that are walay tatsa siya. Way mga tumitom kay kung basihan nimo kung imo sa i-compare sa hamis nga mangga or sa ogsa dunot nga mangga, ang color sa hamis nga mangga is kuan gud siya kanang walay tatsa rather than the rotten mango kay nasa itom-itom. So that's it. And now in conclusion, color is perhaps the single most important product intrinsic sensory cue when it comes to setting our expectations regarding the likely taste and flavor of food and drink. To date, a large body of research has demonstrated that changing the hue or intensity or saturation of the color of a variety of different food and beverage items exerts a sometimes dramatic impact on the expectations and often on the subsequent taste or flavor experiences of participants in the lab, as well as consumers under the more naturalistic conditions of everyday life. So it is important to note that food colors can have rather different meanings and hence give rise to differing expectations in these different age groups, not to mention in those from different cultures. So by gaining a better understanding of the sensory and hedonic expectations that are elicited by food colors in different groups of individuals, researchers are now coming to better understand the various ways in which what we are can modulate the multisensory perception of flavor and alter our food behaviors. So that would be all for this day. Thank you, and I hope you have gained a lot of learnings about this discussion. Thank you and God bless.